Chris Cline was in the house with Dan Crowley Jr. and Dan Crowley Sr. Dan Crowley Sr.'s talked to a law enforcement agent. I was never in the house with Chris Cline at all. Well, someone there is not telling the truth. Was it ever followed up on? No. Was it ever looked at again by the detective as far as the story's not making sense? No, I guess we never really followed up on it. It really makes the department look inept, and I feel bad to some extent that it really sheds them in a poor light. I think when you find the bullet hole above the body right there in the ceiling above your head and no one sees it, they come back almost a month later to the day to find out there's an extra bullet hole and a bullet fragment found in the attic, from what turns out to be potentially the kill shot of the 6 shots fired. The most important bullet is the one that they missed. This is pretty shoddy detective work if you cannot look up and see a hole of where the gunshot bullet fragment went off, and then to get called back a second time when the cleaners were coming through and they say, oh, we found a mushroom bullet on the floor underneath the carpeting. So that makes 3 separate times detectives were there to find bullets. Bullet fragments were found in 3 separate visits to the house.
Yeah, and it's almost like they weren't looking for them.
So
yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Hate to point the finger, but that has got to be an embarrassment. If I was a citizen living in the city of Apple Valley, I would have second doubts. I would have to say about my police department. And now they don't get many homicide murder cases like this, but this really reflects poorly on the department, and that's just a fact, I think.
I agree. I mean, I don't even think it matters the volume that they get. I mean, there should just be strict protocols to dealing with it, common sense things that you know to look for. The hole in the ceiling. Why did it take so long to find those bullets? I mean, it's all those inconsistencies, like you said, but then wrapped up all together is their narrative of, without a doubt, this is the story, we know this for a fact, and, we've done the police work, and this is what we came up with. So, like, they just want everybody to stop asking questions, but it's like, look at the police work that they did. If even any at all, it was absolutely horrible. So it's kind of, it's the two things. It's the mistakes, and then on top of it, without irrefutable doubt, this is our narrative of what happened, and you need to accept it. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest problem.
It does. I agree, Ross. It does come off with some level of arrogance with the amount of confidence that these answers are
right,
and the amount of in fact, a little jab at the end on that one sentence that did say, these are people making comments, questioning that haven't done an ounce of detective work compared to what we've done, and that's kind of a slight on us, but
it's
at
really
the same time,
on them.
it's a shot. I mean, it's
well, it's a slight on them. He's not even realized what he's saying here.
Yeah. They mentioned a couple times the level of training and the background and the experience that we have. Well, Greg, like you mentioned, it's people sitting and home watching as an armchair investigator could figure this stuff out. This is slam dunk stuff.
Now, so I think Ray Charles could have seen that hole in the ceiling. But
wow.